Well, I came in from out in the cold where I was really getting to know winter. Well, we've got more snow today. I told you in that last recording that I wanted to tell you how you can really get to know God. Uh, I mentioned that here just a few years ago, Sharon and me, we were in one of my favorite cities in Ukraine, Rivne. Sharon and I were in Ukraine, and we were in Rivne, and we were helping Grace Church start an English club. So we spent about 3 weeks in Rivne that time and really fell in love with the city and the people and that church and those people that were starting that club. Well, here's one thing I did each night at the close of our club meetings. I started telling this group of people that were coming for this English club startup how they could really get to know me and how they could really get to know God. Like I mentioned when I was outside in the cold, you've got to spend time with people. If you want to really know them, you've got to meet them and spend time with them. It's not just about getting knowledge in our head and learning all the facts and reading all the books. Well, I was telling our group that came to English Club how to get to my apartment. Well, if you're going to come visit with me, come get to know me, you come to see me. Well, our apartment where we were living, was maybe 5 minute, maybe a 10-minute walk. So it was real close by. But there were many different ways to get to that apartment. In fact, my favorite way, we came out and we went to the left, and there was a fairly new store right past Celentano's. A good place to get an orange flavored Coke Zero or vanilla. They had some good Coke Zero in there and a Snickers bar. What a way for an American in Ukraine to end an evening. Well, we could go that way and then go back past Celentano's and down a block or two, Hotel Ukraine, past Malin Restaurant and back to our apartment. Or there were 2 or 3 other ways, some shorter. So there were a few different ways to get to the apartment. But then you came to one door. Well, you couldn't get to that apartment to be with me until you came through that one door. So there were a lot of different ways to get close to knowing me, but there's only one way to get in, to get to spend time with me, to get to know me. Same way with God. There's a lot of people that say, there's so many ways to get to God. And, you have your way, I have my way, but we all love this same God and we worship Him. So there's all of these different ways to get to God. So you go your way, I'll go mine. You know what? Yeah, there are a lot of ways to learn about God. There's a lot of ways to make some approaches to God. But there's only one way into God so that we might know Him. Jesus said it. In the book of John, chapter 14, verses 6, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father, God, except by me. If you know Him, you know me. If you know me, you know Him. So Jesus says, nobody's getting to God without coming through me. So although there's a lot of different ways to get over there and get close to God, my friends, unless you get to know Jesus, unless you go through Jesus, you cannot know God, not really know Him. You can learn all kind of information about Him and know all the facts and have gone to church and read the Bible and looked at Him from afar and known about Him. But for Him to put His arms around you and called you His child, to love you, to cry with you, to laugh with you, no, the only way to get to know God is to know Jesus. He's the only way. So there's one way to get to God. Many ways to get close, but only one way to really know God. So if you're out there and you're living on, trying to be a good person, I'm going to get to God because I'm a good person, I do good deeds, I do good things, or I really know the Bible, I've memorized it. Well, unless you go to Jesus and get to know Jesus, then you're not going to know God. Well, I'm going to stop at that point, but I'll tell you what, there's some good reasons to get to know Jesus. Not just the end result in knowing God, not just the end result in knowing Jesus. So if you'll join me in part 3, I'm going to talk about 3 real good reasons that you want to get to know Jesus and get to know God. Draw close to Him. Get to know God through Jesus.